Howdy folks, this is Tall Turtle here, and welcome back to X-Plane 11, and today we are going to fly our final flight in this unofficial series, in this Ryan Navion. If you haven't been watching the previous videos, we've been flying from the Caspian Sea and heading west in the same plane every few days, and I haven't called it a series, but I guess it's kind of turned into a mini-series. So today is the final leg, what I'm going to consider the final leg. We are going to take off in Kutaisi, Georgia. I guess that's how I say that. And we're going to go to Sochi, Russia, and we're going to wrap it up there. Of course, this isn't the last time flying this plane. It's just the last time in this unofficial series. So basically, the series is going to end up being from the Caspian Sea to the Black Sea. Little chunks, little by little. It doesn't seem that far on a map if you look at both. If you look at the region on a map, it doesn't seem like it's that far. But if you've been following these flights, it's been many, many hours of flying in this GA thing. GA aircraft. I guess that's not redundant. General Aviation Aircraft. So we're going to wrap it up today. It's like 7:07 a.m. sim time. Real world weather is turned on. It should be clear. It should be clear skies all the way to Russia. The plan is just VFR the whole way. That's it. Very simple. I wanted to be very simple. So we're going to leave this airport. Again, flight description and flight details are always in the description below. We're going to leave this airport, head west-northwest, because I like 16-point compasses. And then we're going to follow the coast of the Black Sea until we see the airport, and then we'll land visually based on the weather. Couldn't be simpler. It's going to be a really long flight. I'm expecting, at the very, very, very least, that the flight will be an hour in the air. At the very least. The previous flight was an hour in the air. Oh, look at that airplane landing. The previous flight was an hour in the air, and that was much shorter than this. So it's going to be much longer than that. Alrighty, so I'm just enjoying that airplane landing and the scenery in the background. Hopefully the weather is as clear as it says it is all the way. If I have to make the weather clear, we will, because this is going to be VFR. I didn't even write down any VORs. I didn't look for an instrument approach or anything. I just want it to be as simple as possible and a simple aircraft. The only thing we're going to do is use autopilot so that I can sightsee. Otherwise we'd hand fly it, but I want to sightsee, and it's way too difficult to sightsee when we hand fly. Okay, sun is coming up. I think that's all we needed to do. I wanted to do one quick thing here and take a screenshot of this, because we rarely have airport screenshots. Don't know if that's going to be the thumbnail yet, but at least it's gorgeous. And there are parking spaces on the grass over there. That's interesting. Alright. Oh, there's a cop chasing somebody in the background. Alright, fuel for this one. Fuel for this one is going to be completely full. Oh, 3 hours? No, it's not going to be that long, but we're going to fill it up anyway. Fill this thing up. Oh, 7:17. Let's see if we can get going by 7:25 or so. Real world weather turned on. Clear. All the way. Hardly any wind at all. Let's see here. Parking brake is set. There it is. Generator on. And battery is on. Make sure there are 3 green lights for landing, and there are. Do we have ATIS at this airport? I can't remember. Let's see. I think we did. Let me find it here. No. Okay. Well, it's 90 at 8. So 8 degrees. Barely noticeable, although in the sim it's going to be like a hurricane. But 90 degrees, so we want something closer to runway 9, and we have a 7. So where are we? We are right here. We're going to exit this little area of hangars and go left, and then use runway 7, which will be here, because 7 means 70 degrees. Right, we're going to go this way, turn left, piece of cake. But you can see what we're going to do. We're just going to go west-northwest, which is like this, to the coast. I'm just going to follow the coast all the way to Sochi. Should be a gorgeous flight. Should be a very gorgeous flight, I'm hoping. Otherwise, that is all. So I didn't check the barometer. I looked at it. I think it was 3009 or something. Let me check. What was that barometer? It was 3000. So we're going to zoom in here. Zoom in more. 3000. So 30, 60, 70, 80, 90, 300, kind of in between. We'll go with this. We will go with that. Alright, I already reset my flight controls, but let's make sure the rudders stay. I have to plug everything in after the sim is started, and then sometimes do it 2 or 3 times. That is not because of my rudder pedals, because the same thing happened with my other rudders. So it's not the pedals, it's something in the sim or my computer or something. Alrighty, here we go. Carb heat off. In. Cowl flaps in. We're gonna have to watch temperatures this time too, because last time we iced up last time, didn't we? Strobe position, that's back over here again, isn't it? That's landing lights. Strobe and position. There you go. Close the canopy, which I have a preset T. You can do 20 presets. Some people aren't aware of that. But you can do 20 presets. I have a video on that. I think it's the only video on YouTube how to do that. Mixture rich, props in, throttle 1/4. Check the fuel gauge, which was down. Where is my little under the thing? I guess it's this one. My fuel gauge is over here in this plane. Fuel shut off, that's pushed in. No, pushed in. And that's like that. That's emergency. Fuel pump on, that's over here. Push electric starter. Let's watch the gauges fly up. Where's my sound? There it is. I have my volume turned off for me. Alright, there we go. What is next? Fuel pump off after engine run smoothly at 800. Let's let this thing run smoothly at 800. And there's 800 idle, very nice and smoothly. Gradually increase to 1200 for engine warm up. There we go. Must decrease after oil temp. So if you look at your oil temp over here, it's like 150. Bring the engine down if you haven't already. Let's do Y on my keyboard to sync my gyros. There we go. That flipped over right there. And the Y on the keyboard is my own mapping. Again, I have a video on that too. Alright, that's it. Time to taxi. So, let's let the engine warm up a little bit. We will do a run up today because it's been a long time. We have a long flight. So, make sure hydraulic power is on, and it is because the light is on. Lean the mixture. And start to taxi. So, let's see. What did I say we're doing? We're going left. And then we're going... First of all, we're going to move the mouse. Then we're going to go left and then go to runway 7. And then we'll do a run up. So, let's bring back throttles for right now. Let me move my rudder pedals over. They're not where I need them to be. Alrighty. Parking brake off. And away we go. Let's see. I don't know if there's a whole lot to talk about. We kind of got a good view of the airport during the introduction. So I'm just going to taxi away. And when we get to the end of the runway and we're ready to warm up, I'll join you. I'll see you in a moment. Maybe we'll let them. Maybe we'll watch them take off before we do our run up. Just because it's kind of fun. All taking off into the sunrise. How romantic is that? Although the passengers can't see it. But the pilots can. Alright, get binoculars out. Let's watch the sky. Then we'll do our run up here. There's his rotation. And away he goes. Wing flex and everything. See you later, buddy. Airplanes look like they're so steep when they take off. Look at that. Take a screenshot of that. That's awesome. Alright, but we have to do our thing here. We're holding up traffic. Run up. Full rich. Cowl flaps open. They are. Throttle to 1700. This is where we got to be careful because I think it goes through the parking brake. There's 1700 there. Props to full. Fuel pump on, and it still should be. Yes, it is. Check each MIG for drop off. So a little bit of drop, go back to both. Right, a little bit of drop, go back to both. Pull carb heat out, and then back in. Props back, and then, or in and back and in. Full throttle for 10 seconds. This does not work because it'll start moving. So we're going to just say we did. Remember, you have the parking brake on. Make sure hydraulic power is on. Check light. Flaps down. And then up. So if we go like this, you can watch the flaps go down. And then watch them come up. Now there's a halfway mark on there. But there's also halfway. You can do halfway on here. Same thing. Set the trim. Trim is always fine already in this thing. Okay, there we go. Let's bring the throttle back so we can relax a little bit. And landing lights can come on. There they are. Confirmed fuel pump is on. It is. Dome light comes off. There we go. And note the time on the clock, which is what? 7:27. It'll be about 7:28 by the time we actually take off. So 7:28 or so. Alrighty, full rich because we're below 5,000 feet. We'll do a flaps up takeoff. We have 1 minute for full throttle before it blows up on us. And we lift off at 70 miles per hour. 75 is that first hash. So that's about when we'll take off. Alright, get comfortable in my chair. Parking brake is off. Let's pull out onto the runway once we can get off this grass. Checking to make sure no one is coming to land. Oh, we're not on an appropriate taxiway. They didn't say that where we were starting from, though. How are we supposed to know that? I don't know. Let's hop inside. We're just going to roll this out because we're going to do a flaps up landing. It is 7:28 in 30 seconds. And here we go. And once we're straight, then we'll do full throttle. Leaning back. Feel that power. There's 65 and 75 and lift off. Where we go. Whoa, wind. No flaps to worry about. Gear coming up. We will do hydraulic power off and the fuel pump off at 1000 AGL. So hydraulic power is off. And we'll do fuel pump off in a moment. Look at that gorgeous sunrise takeoff. So smooth too. Wow. Alright, let's turn that fuel pump off now. And what are we doing? We're going to go west-northwest. So that would be about 310 degrees or so. So we need to make a complete U-turn. But let's first look around and enjoy the scenery. There's all the hangars. Well, there was another taxiway thing. But if I recall, yeah, it's X's on both. So maybe it just means it's not a runway because there isn't a stripe. Look at that. Gorgeous. Look at the highway. Absolutely gorgeous. Another highway over there. Alrighty, let's turn this thing around. And we'll get going on our VFR. And then we'll get autopilot set up so we can do some sightseeing. Step on the ball a little bit more. We're aiming for about 310 or so. There's 40, 30, 20, 10. Actually, let's do 300. There we go. Oh, just a little past it. Awesome. You know what? Since we're VFR and we're not following an instrument, let's just follow. Let's keep this highway to our left a little bit more, or else we're going to the mountains. I really don't want to. 270 would be west, but we don't want to go due west. So we'll figure this out because now we're going south of west. So we definitely don't want to do that. So we'll figure this out as we go. Alrighty, what are we going to do? We are going to autopilot set up so we can sightsee. Oh, I better bring back throttles and props, huh? I think if we want 27 and 22. There's 22 on the props and 27 on the throttle is right there just about. Let's get our autopilot thing popped out so we can see what we're doing. So we're going to use heading bug. So we want this to be about what? Well, let's see who's texting me. Let's go 280 for right now. Then let's do heading. No, heading. There we go. Let go of the yoke. That'll get us set up. Is it going to get us set up? 265. 280. Why is sync gyros again? 265 there. 280 there. 265 there. That's interesting. That's not synced. Huh. Maybe that's on purpose. Okay, well, then let's bring it closer to 300. Right? And it's not changing. Really? We're gonna have an autopilot. Now it's going. I had to do like 2 or 3 times. Okay. Weird. I've been having weird autopilot issues in several aircraft in X-Plane 1140. I don't know if it's me or coincidence or what, but it's been happening. Alrighty, we're missing some gorgeous sightseeing. Let's do some sightseeing, and then we're going to set heading, or we're going to set altitude at, I guess we're going to go for like 6,000, maybe 65 even, because it's such a long flight. But we have a ways to climb. Our takeoff climb checklist is done. Yeah, everything's set, ready to go. It's just a matter of setting altitude hold and sightseeing. So let's do some sightseeing together briefly here. We'll set that altitude, and then we'll be on our way. So look at this windy river, the mountains, the Caucasus. Is that what I said they were? The Caucasus Mountains or something? Well, I guess we can turn our landing lights off soon, probably. I don't know. We'll keep them on maybe for this flight. I like to leave my landing lights on, just like I drive my headlights on all the time. Look at that gorgeous sunrise. More screenshot material. A little bit hazy, but that's okay. Between the ranges. Some peaks off in the background. Did not take long to get to a rural area, did it? Looks like there's some development or something there. Some highways. And then in front of us, past those little mountain bumps, is the Black Sea. You can see it over the wing right now. That's the Black Sea. And then Sochi is way over there. But Russia's right there. So that's where we are, if you want to get orientation. Otherwise, I'm just going to sit here and climb until about 6,000 feet. And then hit altitude hold. Keep an eye on my gauges. And we'll be back in a moment. Alright, we're coming up on 6,000 feet, so as soon as we do, I'm going to push this altitude hold button. Hopefully it works. I don't have to do it several times like I did the autopilot, which is strange. But there's 9, 20, 40, 60, 80, and 6,000 feet. And there we go. Pop that back in. Alrighty, we'll get some speed going now. So I'm going to keep an eye on things. I'm going to keep an eye on our cylinder head temperature, which is right here. And I'm going to keep an eye on our oil temperature, which is right here. Can I see that from this view? I can. Good. I can see that too. I can see both from this view. That's great. Keep an eye on our prop speed. Make sure that doesn't get too high. Our manifold pressure is going to be below 2,700 no matter what. And then I'll do the carb heat as I need, the cowl flaps as I need to. And then last time we needed to do carb heat because everything froze up. So we'll see. Otherwise, that is it for us. We're going to keep the landing lights on, but I'm just going to fly to the coast, and then I'll use the heading bug to guide us along the coast so that I can sightsee. Otherwise, I will check with you again once we can get our destination weather and everything, and then start our approach. So it's gonna be a long flight for me. I'm not gonna put in an hour of sightseeing for you. That's ridiculous. So a couple minutes of sightseeing, and I'll choose some music. I don't know if I'm gonna throw back to the original music or do something newer. I don't know. I have to figure that out editing. But enjoy the sightseeing, enjoy the music. I'll catch you in a couple minutes for you, hour and a half or so for me, and I'll catch you when it's time to descend. going to interrupt this sightseeing very, very briefly because we have our destination weather information. So let's get that loaded right away here just so we can get back to sightseeing as quickly as possible. And let's see, what do we got? We have an ATIS, so let's see if we can get the ATIS to work. The ATIS is going to be 126-200, so communication 126-200. Whoops, where's that? There we go. 126-200. And is it going to pop up on us? Communication 126-200. Maybe we're too far away? That wouldn't make sense. Why would we be too far away? COM 1 is on. This is COM 1. It worked on another flight, so I know I'm doing it correctly because it has worked before. It just isn't picking it up. Maybe we're too far away. We'll keep it on just to see if we pick it up later. If we do, then we know we're too far away. But anyway, lighter variable 3003. Super simple, 3003. So if we don't get an ATIS to tell us which runway's in use, oh my gosh, let me zoom in here. 3000, because there's a quick line up. There's 0, 1, 2, 3. That's, yeah, good enough. That's it. There's nothing else to do. If ATIS pops in and tells us about runways in use, we'll choose that runway. Otherwise, we'll just choose one based on our wherever we line up, because weather doesn't apply. It says light variable. So that's it. We're going to keep $6 grand for quite a while longer. We won't come down until near the very end. And choose a runway as we get closer. That's it. Back to sightseeing. I'll catch you in a little bit. Alright, so altimeter 3000, which we already have, and arriving Arriving runway 6, we have Juliet. Juliet is my favorite letter of the phonetic alphabet. I have 2 sons, which I love, of course, but if I had daughters, they would be Sophie and Juliet. Although after having sons for over a decade, I can't imagine having daughters. But I'm sure if I had daughters, I couldn't imagine having sons. But anyway, a little tangent. Again, if you haven't been here before, we have tangents all the time. Juliet is my favorite of the phonetic alphabet. So 3,000, arriving runway 6. Okay, so let's have a peek here at what runway 6 is going to be. Runway 6 is probably going to be this one. And then why is arriving and departing different? That's super funny. That's really, really funny. No, that might be runway 2. No, this would be runway 2. Yeah, this would be runway 6. So we're just going to fly along the coast until we line up with the runway, and then we'll do a final from the coast. That should be plenty of distance, way more than we need. So that means let's move our heading bug out over the water a little bit. And we're going to aim for this point here, because I assume the airport is right on this point. Let's get our binoculars out and have a peek here. I assume that's where it is. Can't really see anything yet. Yeah, that sure looks like it. I could be wrong. I could be mistaking a land feature for a runway, but I'm pretty sure that's where it is. So let's bring our airplane a little bit to the northwest. Northwest. My 16-point compass. Northwest, just a little bit. Alrighty. We should be good to go. So all temperatures are fine. We have used half our fuel though, so I'm glad I put as much in as I did. All we need to do to prepare for descent is start coming down. Make sure we'll be full, because we're going to land below 5,000 feet. We have our weather. We'll just turn the fuel pump on in a moment, and landing light's already on. So let's have a peek outside. How gorgeous is this? Very nice. Oh, look at the city below us. Alright, another 45 seconds of sightseeing or so, and we'll start coming down. Alright, we have an airport in sight. Runway 2 would be there. Runway 6 will be there. So we probably should swing out a little more to the left, because otherwise we're going to be making a really sharp corner. So let's swing a little bit more, well, a little bit more to the northwest. So let's go like this a little bit. Just a little. Doesn't take much. And again, purely visual based on the weather, and the ATIS told us runway 6 for arrivals. So that's what we're going to do, is runway 6. Hopefully we don't run into someone taking off on 24. That's kind of funny. I guess that's how it interprets the variable winds, because they just have to use different runways. I mean, in real life, you have departing and arriving on different runways, like here in Minneapolis. They depart and arrive on completely different runways, so they don't run into each other, they don't tangle. They can have separate operations. They don't need to get one off to get one to land. They can just do 2 different untangled runways. But that's not the case right now in the sim. Very funny. Alrighty, we're pretty high, but I'm going to stay kind of high just for a second here till we gather our thoughts. Temperatures are fine. Fuel is fine. Time to turn the fuel pump on. There we go. Landing lights already on. Let's just review our approach. Props full in a moment. Full mixture. Hydraulics on. Below 100 miles per hour. Gear down. Final port 75. Touchdown is 55. Keep the nose up. Flaps up right away. We will not use flaps. Yes, we will use half flaps. So, flaps will be halfway down here. We will Turn on hydraulics and gear here. Well, so hydraulics, gear, and flaps here. Final approach here. Touchdown here. Nose down there. So gear, hydraulics, flaps. Final approach. Touchdown. Nose down. Very simple. You just follow the hash marks and you do something at each one. And that is our approach and landing checklist. And then it's just flaps up right away as soon as you slow down. So let's kill this autopilot and start landing this plane, because there's our destination right there. So let's move this all the way over to off. There we go. Prop forward, bring back the throttles pretty much to idle, because we need to come down in a hurry. And then it's gonna be a slightly uncomfortable descent, but we're gonna keep it. We're gonna make it. We're aiming for right there. So we're just gonna swing out, then have a nice short final. Should be pretty easy. Of course I want to sightsee, but we're not going to sightsee because we'll completely screw up everything. So maybe we'll just go like this for a second. That's a good compromise, I think. Yeah. Very nice city. I wonder where Olympic Village is. That's a really good question. Would it be right here, maybe? I actually don't know. I should look that up. Alright, keep an eye on the runway. Since this is a visual landing in a VFR flight, we're completely dependent on keeping track of that airport. We cannot lose it. What's your elevation? 4,000 and descending at a slightly uncomfortable but realistic descent. I mean, 1,700, 1,600 feet per minute isn't totally crazy. Let's see, runway 24. I hope they don't run into us if they depart. This is very tangled. This is very funny. I don't think they would have changed the airport on us, but anyway, increase spotter, add heat to prevent. Okay, let's do carb heat. Whoa. Wait, what did I just do? That wasn't carb heat. That was my fuel. There's carb heat. Yeah, that's better. That's better. Alright. Make sure it's already full. Throttles are back. We're going way too fast for flaps or gear. We want to avoid a strange sharp turn into the final, so let's veer out a little bit more. I do recognize the layout of this land, though, from the Olympics when they were here. I remember the skiing was like 10 or 15 miles away or something, but it was an hour drive. The bobsled was like over here in this mountain or something. And I'm assuming Olympic Village was here in this open space along the water, but I'll have to verify that. And of course I'll add commentary in the video once I do, assuming I do. Alright, yeah, we're coming down in a hurry. We're at 1,500 feet. Yeah, we can level off now. We can level off. Let's see. Keep an eye on that runway because it's a visual approach and everything's VFR. Alright, we're going to use throttle. So we stop descending, and we're going to keep our pitch where it is so we don't slow down. It's just going to be all about throttle at this point. You can hear it winding up. Keep an eye on that runway. And having like a base leg now. I'm keeping an eye actually on that airplane right there. Looks like they're getting ready to do something. Not sure. Oh, bump the rudder pedals there. Gorgeous view, but we have to get up front. Alright, let's see here. Let's start slowing down. We'll pitch up to slow down. Bring throttles back so we don't descend. Keep an eye on that runway. But we don't want to descend quite yet. We're at 600 feet. Alrighty, 100 miles per hour. Let's turn hydraulics on. There we go. We'll do flaps and gear and everything as we're on final, which should be any minute, I believe. We're getting kind of low here. Let's get some throttles going. It's hard to see the runway. We got too low because I was enjoying the sights a little bit too much. And look what happened. We lost sight of the runway. I have a pretty good idea where it is, though. Pitch up for our speed because we don't go above 100 because we have hydraulics. Ready to go. Pretty sure this is a final. There it is. Okay, good. Gear down in the turn. And then we'll do flaps in a moment, keeping an eye on that runway. Don't lose it. Oh boy. Alright, flaps down halfway. Gonna cause it to float like crazy. Alright, use that pappy and line up visually. Start slowing down because we want to be at 75 miles per hour for final approach, which this is. We want to look around, but we can't. Oh man, I really want to look around. All right, so we're going to pitch up to slow down, but bring back throttle so we stay on the glide slope. Final approach 75. Do not need to worry about crosswind landing. If we want to grease a landing, this is the most appropriate time, if any. But we're not going to go for a greaser. We're just going to go for a regular landing. Enjoy the view as we can. If I look out these windows, this is going to be a big problem, isn't it? Especially this close to final. Yes, it is. Alrighty. Don't need to talk through the landing, so we'll go sterile and we'll land this plane. Okay, fine, I decided to grease it anyway. Nose wheel down at the right time. Flaps coming in. How come my rudders aren't working? There we go. Wow, I needed almost full right rudder for that. Somehow we landed a little right of center. I don't know what happened at the last second, but I think I was concentrating too much on my VSI. Alrighty, let's see. I don't know where we're going. Which way do we want to go? We got some hangars there. It's a gigantic airport, obviously. Let's just do our next pull off to the left, I guess. And we'll see what's going on. So again, flaps came in immediately. That's what it says here on the checklist. Now we're just going to scoot along rather quickly. Actually, maybe we want to go over there. Let's go over there. I see some small GA over there. Let's go to the right. Yeah, let's scoot along, though, so we can get out of everybody's way. Flight time, by the way, 1 hour and 20 minutes. I predicted an hour in the beginning, then I said hour and a half later on. It was 1 hour and 20, so I was in the ballpark. Let's see, let's slow this thing down. Okay, now we're out of the way. It's time to slow down. Slow down. Slow down. Alright, let's go past the second stop line here. Landing lights can come off. And let's stop here. Alright, doing the checklist quickly. Flaps already up. Yes, note the time on the clock. We did. Fuel pump off. Mixture lean. Landing lights off. We did. So now it's just a matter of finding a parking spot. Let's see. Pretty big place here. Oh, we got rows of hangars over there. I guess since we're hanging this up for a while, let's go to those long... Can we even get there, though? Sometimes what happens is it's actually fenced off and they're just there for decoration. Yeah, see, we can't even get there. It's like a parking lot. Where are we going? It's hard to find something. Okay, there's some tiny hangars there. I guess we can do that. That's a long taxi, though. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to turn around and cross. Where are we? We're going to cross at the next one, and there's some hangars there. Okay, hop back here and get cracking. And it's going to be a really long taxi, so I think I'm just going to meet you as we get closer. I don't have any stories to tell. I don't have any tangents. I haven't had any actual story time, have I? Nope. Can't think of anything about Russia. Although, back in college, I had a super major crush on a Russian violinist in the music department. And she didn't know who I was, literally, because we were in the same orchestra. And after one of the concerts, the next day, she said, "Did you come see my orchestra concert?" And I'm like, I'm first chair in the second violin section by choice? And you didn't notice I sit 7 feet from you for a year? So that kind of killed that crush. But that's the only story I have. So I'm going to taxi, and I'll catch you in a moment. Alright, let's cross this runway with haste. quickly before something lands on us here. And we're just going to go to that little hangar where that little jet is. And then we're going to hang this up for a while. We're not done with the plane forever, of course, but we've been doing most flights with it. So now I'll pick a new plane, I think, to do most flights with while we throw in some other planes. But I haven't decided which one yet. Actually, we're not going to make it to that hangar, are we? We're going to get in the way of this traffic. So let's just stop right up here. And they can dolly us in when they're ready. I don't think this is a parking spot. It is now. It is now. They'll take care of it for us. Alright, let's shut this thing down. Parking brake is already set. Hydraulics come... Where are you? Hydraulics come off. Carb can come in. Strobe and position lights can come off. Idle for 3 minutes. We'll say we did. Mixture shut off. The ignition off. Generator off. Battery off. And radios are already off. And then we'll open the canopy. There we go. Let's hop outside and wrap this up. Well, hopefully you enjoyed the flight. I certainly did. It was definitely the longest trek of them all, but I was expecting it. So that was kind of nice. When you do long flights and you don't expect them, it can get kind of antsy. But that went very well. Perfect weather. Real world weather was on the whole time. Gorgeous weather for VFR flight, so we took advantage of it, and that's exactly what we did. Thank you for joining me on this unofficial series from the Caspian Sea to the Black Sea. And future plans, I don't have any other mini-series planned at the moment, or unofficial series planned at the moment. But we'll do something. I do want to go back to the B1900D and see if it starts on fire again when I crank it up. You're supposed to be able to over-torque it for 5 minutes, and that's what I've been doing for hundreds of flights. So I don't know why we had a fire last time, but we'll check it out. I want to do a short flight in the 727 because FlyJ Sim has said do not update to 1140 if we're using their planes. I did update to 1140, and I want to try it out, see if there's actually anything wrong or if they just are covering their butts by saying don't update yet. I don't know. I haven't been on their Discord in a while, so I'm not sure the reason for that. So we're going to do some test flights. I still want to redo the really long 727 flight to Estonia, but I don't know when that's going to happen. And I got some other stuff to do. So thank you for joining me for a subscriber. Thank you for continuing support. If you found back, please like, please subscribe, please share with your friends. Leave your flight ideas in the description below, or in the comments below. And thank you once again, and I'll catch you next time.